Welcome to First Parish in Waltham. We are so glad you are here. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. My name is Deb Jose. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a 70-year-old white woman wearing a red sweater. Here are this week's announcements. We try to make our service as accessible as possible with hearing helpers and large print versions of service materials available from our ushers. Paper copies of our weekly newsletter are available at the entrance to the building. To receive an emailed copy each week, please speak to a greeter or usher. Interested in donating flowers for a Sunday service? Sign up is in the newsletter. Pastoral care is available to everyone, newcomers, members, and visitors alike. Please reach out to pastoralcare@walthamuu.org for any assistance. Today's cottage meeting, led by me, is from 12 to 1 in the Harrington Room and on the Sunday Zoom. Lay-led planning for December 28th service will be led by Marty Ahrens in the chapel from 12 to 1. There's a lot going on after church. Stewardship Day starts at noon for anybody not going to one of the other meetings, and at 1 o'clock if you're going to one of the other meetings. There will be general yard work. Pizza and drinks will be provided. See Walter Beebe Center or a property committee member for questions. Our 8th annual holiday concert will be in the sanctuary at 7 p.m. on December 13th. The correct ticket prices are $23 for general admission and $18 for students or seniors 65 plus. Ticket link is in the newsletter. Holiday Marketplace is coming soon. We need your contributions. All proceeds benefit First Parish. Please reach out to Leslie Gildersleeve or Donna Vanderclock to contribute. This is the end of today's announcements. Please check you have silenced your phone and other communication devices. And now please turn around and wave to the lovely people who are joining us on Zoom. Our video camera is just to the right of the exit sign over the door.
Here we are, again. Where exactly? We might not be sure. And why exactly? We might not agree. So let me state what I know with as much certainty as I can muster. We are not here because life is wonderful all the time. We are here because life is exhilarating, heartbreaking, disorienting, and soul-shaking. We are here not because everyone is always easy. We are here because we are human, most humane when we have one another to hold up the mirror and show us the entirety of our possibility. We are not here because we have answers. We are here because we, each one of us, is lost and found all at once, seeking grace and showing it, finding our way home together. We are not here because we are unafraid. We are here because we have found that facing fears is worth it. Risks are worth taking. We're here because we'd rather not face them, not face life alone. Come, beloveds, and let us worship. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is April Rosario. My pronouns are she, her. I am honored to be the Director of Faith Formation here at First Parish Waltham. I am a Black woman with medium-length dreadlocks, and I am so, so, so glad to be with you all this morning. Our opening words today came from the Reverend Hannah Vilnance, and they were entitled, "Here We Are, Seeking Grace and Showing It." So let's do that today. Let's seek grace and let's show it. We begin our worship service like every UU church does across the country, across multiple countries. We begin with the lighting of our chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism. This morning, I would like to invite up Melinda to start our worship.
Good morning. We light our chalice as a symbol of gratitude as we celebrate the abundance of our lives together. In this sanctuary, we harvest bushels of strength for one another and offer our crop with the hands of compassion and generosity. In the authentic and gentle manner of our connections, we cultivate a simple sweetness to brighten our spirits. May we be grateful for the ways we nourish and uplift each other, for it is the sharing of this hallowed time together that sustains us.
As we move into our opening hymn, I, again, would like to invite you to do that and join us in whatever way feels comfortable for you. So if that means rising in body and spirit, if that means singing at the top of your lungs, regardless of whether or not you can carry a note, if that means clapping along, swaying in your seat, or just being in it with us, I invite you to join us in our opening hymn, number 1010, "We Give Thanks." I invite you to stay standing and join us in our unison affirmation. Now, we have been working on this as a congregation. We understand we don't all love every word in this affirmation, and that is okay. I encourage you to lean into the words you do love and participate in the words that you have, feelings about, because we're doing this thing called worship together. Our affirmation starts with the word love. You will find it in your order of service and on your screen if you're joining us from home. Please join with me. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please be seated. Pam, don't sit. Bear up. And everything else has been handed out. Do you want a music stand? Maybe, yeah. I guess, sorry. No, you're good.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Pam Penton. I'm the Commissioner of Membership. Right now, I almost said something else, but that was last year. Okay. And truth be told, I just participated in a road race at 9 o'clock this morning. So I'm right off the track there, so a little.
And we're so grateful for you.
And I got called in, and I'm like, yeah, I can do it, I'll make it. So I have today's wisdom tale, which is entitled Sidewalk Stew. Jose loves spending Saturdays at the library with his family. He loves to listen to story time, and then he gets lost among the bookshelves looking for books to read. Occasionally, he'll get interrupted by his little sister, Sophia, to read her a story, but the rest of the time is his. Jose and his family used to live in the 7th floor in a little apartment downtown. Then hard times came to his parents, and they had trouble getting work. But for the last few months, they've been living in their car. During the week, Jose and Sophia eat breakfast and lunch at school. The weekends are sometimes hard. At 5 o'clock, the library closed, and their dad came to pick them up after work. Now they would have the family discussion of where they would eat. It was decided that they would go to visit their friends, Mary and Ralph, on Main Street, by the corner market. Ralph and Mary camped out in a tent in the lot and always had a small fire going for cooking. Jose and Sophia piled out of the car when they arrived. Mary always had penny candy in her pockets to share. Their dad and Ralph talked about how much money they had for the food for dinner, while Mary and their mom asked passerbys for donations. It was getting cooler and darker, and the people were just hurrying by, not even pausing to smile. There wasn't going to be much money tonight for dinner. Then Jose saw his dad get a glimmer in his eye. He reached into the trunk of their car and pulled out a large kettle. He sent the kids to the corner store for a few items, and then he stepped into the street and said, "Come one, come all, hear our magical call. Come out of your homes, put down your phones, and join us for sidewalk stew." Who has one item for sidewalk stew? Jose and Sophia hurriedly came back from the store with a gallon of water and some bouillon cubes. Teenage boys, do we have some bouillon cubes? Thank you.
Thank you.
The teenage boys hanging out at the corner sneered, "This guy thinks he's going to feed the neighborhood?" Jose yelled, "I have water and bouillon." Sophia picked up a rock from the sidewalk and dusted it off and put it in the pot. "I have a rock." Mary put some more wood on the fire. "Come one, come all, hear our magical call. Come out of your homes, put down your phones, and join us for sidewalk stew," he sang again. A woman who was going into the apartment building paused and reached into her bag and pulled out a sweet potato. Does anybody have a sweet potato? Thank you. She handed it to Jose. Another person paused and handed Sophia some garlic. Anybody have garlic? Oh, you may already be in the pot.
It's already in there.
Okay. Then she hurried into the building. The pot began to bubble and smells began rising. An older woman with a cane hobbled out of the building and added a squash. Anyone have squash? Thank you. Their dad called again. Come one, come all, out of your homes. Put down your phones and join us for sidewalk stew. I only need one more item. A small crowd was beginning to form out of curiosity. How were these neighbors going to feed them all? One of the teenage boys had gone into the store and purchased a potato. Does anyone have a potato? Might already be in the pot. And tossed it in. The stew was smelling so good, and Jose was hungry. Slowly, more people ventured out of their homes, adding corn, peppers, onions, carrots. We got a lot of carrots. Broccoli and celery, and ginger root. Kale and cabbage came in a big salad bowl, loaves of bread and butter. Someone else brought out a folding table and then a tablecloth. Yet another with bowls and spoons. The older gentleman who had been peering out of his corner window came out with his guitar. There was singing and laughing and good eating. Jose saw one of the teenage boys smiling and helping serve people stew. At the end of the night, Jose snuggled into the blankets with his mom in his back seat. His belly was full. He smiled, thinking about the evening. He reached into his pocket and he felt the butterscotch candy that Mary had given him. He thought, I'll save that for tomorrow.
I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit for our next hymn, which is not in the hymnals, but the lyrics are on the front of your order of service and will be on the screen.
This is my favorite Thanksgiving song, and it is a hymn. And the choir are very carefully dispersed amongst you because it's a fun hymn. It requires much division. We're going to sing it through twice in the hope that you have got the hang of it by the end of the second run. And then Kay and Frank, who are going to wave, are going to lead this front section over here. They're going to come in and sing the first line. When they have finished the first line, this group is going to carry on singing, and Carla is going to bring in Peter's Row backwards. Then, when they have finished the first line, Leslie is going to bring in her ensemble. And then, this ensemble is coming last. If you don't know the song, I'm sure you'll learn it very, very quickly. And it goes like this. Thank you for this food, this glorious, glorious food. And the animals, and the vegetables, and the minerals that make it possible. Once more, thank you for this food, this glorious, glorious food. And the animals, and the vegetables, and the minerals that make it possible. First group. Thank you for this food, this glorious, glorious food. For the animals, for this and the vegetables, and the minerals that make it possible. Thank you for this food, Thank you.
Well done, everyone. As you are having a seat and settling yourselves, I invite all of our kids to stand up and head off to the Harrington room with Pam. Have fun. I'll miss you.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Plum Kennard, white, almost 76 on Thanksgiving Day. And I'm dressed all in black for once, so that's quite unusual. Now is the time in our service and I'm on the lay pastoral care team, so be sure to get in touch with us if you feel like we can help. Now is the time in our service when we offer you the chance to lift up your joys and concerns. In our Unitarian Universalist tradition, worship is not only about ideas and music, it's also about the real lives we bring with us. Each week, we pause to share our joys and our concerns. This practice reminds us that we are not alone. Our celebrations are richer when the community rejoices with us, and our burdens are lighter when others hold them with care. Whether spoken aloud, written down, or held in silence, these moments weave us together in compassion and hope. Sharing joys and concerns is how we live our covenant to care for one another and to honor the fullness of life. It's laughter and it's tears within the circle of our community. If you are on Zoom, you are invited to contribute via the chat, and I will read them aloud afterwards. You're welcome to come forward, light a candle if you wish, line up here, and you can light it and give the candle back to Ken. Thank you, Ken. And then come over here, line up here, and then I'll hand you the microphone. Consider sharing your name and pronouns if you feel comfortable. Please keep it short. And thank you, Ken, for being the candle man again. And you want to? Okay. Do you want to do one? Oh, no, I won't forget. Yeah. So Ken's going to light one more for all the unspoken joys and concerns. Thank you. Thanks, Ken.
I want to invite you all now to settle yourselves. Find a position in your pew or at home, in your chair, your couch, your bed, your floor, wherever you are, and feel connected. Put your feet firmly on the floor. Put your hand on your lap or on the seat next to you. Feel the back of the chair. Again, bed, couch, sofa, cushion on your back. Know that you are held as you join me in a moment of prayer. Sometimes we wake in the morning with a heaviness in our chest. Sometimes we wake in the morning with the endless to-do list rattling through our thoughts, the nagging reminders of what was left undone yesterday, and the pangs of, I have to do it all again today, pinching at our insides. Sometimes we wake in the morning and we'd rather just go back to sleep. We'd rather escape under the covers, a rock, the bottom of a closet, anything. And then, the first sliver of sunshine may dance across our face beautifully. And then, the wafting scent of a new day may glide over us beautifully. And then the signs of life blossom around us and inside us beautifully. Beauty is our birthright. Just as we were born in love, through love, to love, to nurture beauty is to return to our essence, to touch, to taste, and experience creation as beautiful, as the fragile, wonderful, and wild interdependence with the spirit of life, that which is so much greater than ourselves. May beauty wrap and delight us and guide our way. May beauty and grace be yours now and forever. Amen, and blessed be. Many years ago, at the very beginning of my career, I ended the church year with a youth-led service, which hopefully I hope to do at the end of this church year. But it was a church service that was an all-ages service, but that was designed from start to finish by the youth that I was working with. And the theme they had chosen was, what does it mean to grow up you? And we wrestled with that because what does it mean to grow up? And we talked about, does that mean this only applies if you were born into the church? No. We're all still growing up, whether we've been here for 5 minutes or 55 years. So what does it mean to grow up you? And one of the things that my high school group decided to do was write a list of questions. What do you love about church? And this was for our toddlers and our early elementary kids to answer. And so we sent the list of questions home because we thought it would be easier for them to record their answers with their families, and then we played it. And the answers were great. They were amazing. But the one that stands out to me was a 5-year-old. Her name was Vivian. And she was asked, what is your favorite thing about church? And she jumped off the couch and she stood up and she said, coffee hour. And she was adamant. And then you can hear the grown-up who's recording in the back whisper, really? And she goes very loudly, yes, coffee hour. And the grown-up in the back goes, can you say something else? Clearly, the grown-up was having big feelings about this answer. And she paused, and she said, because of all the cookies. And the video cut off. And it was emailed to me with a note from the grown-up that said, I'm really sorry you don't have to show this. And I went, of course we're going to show it. For the reaction that just came here, but also because it's a real answer. It was a genuine answer. And it's an answer that I get. I too love coffee hour. Not just for the cookies, although they're usually great, but because of what I see and feel in coffee hour. What I see and feel is kids, oftentimes mine, but many kids doing their best not to careen into people as they're trying to grab their snack and get to the next fun thing that they're going to do at church. What I see is conversation and laughter, rising and falling like music. What I see is hugs and high fives and sometimes tears because we're doing this thing together. What I see is the community that comes out of worship space. What it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like. It's a time and a space where we join hands and hearts in gratitude for one another and for the abundance already present in our lives. And at its heart, it is part of our weekly ritual of breaking bread together, or coffee or cake or fruit or whatever happens to be on the table that day. But the act of sharing food is one of the oldest spiritual practices there is. Across traditions and across time, breaking bread has meant we belong to one another. We will nourish one another. We will create the sacred by sharing what we have. This community and the relationships that are grown here are a lifeboat for so many of us. They sustain us and they steady us. So with that in mind, and knowing that at the end of service we'll make it to coffee hour, I invite you to give to our offering this morning in the same spirit that fills our coffee hour. I invite you to give in a way that feels joyful and grateful and abundant and grounded in the knowledge that what we share becomes holy because we offer it together. May our offering today be another form of breaking bread, another reminder that we are held and sustained in this beloved community. Let us generously give and gratefully receive this morning's offertory.
Hi, everyone. Jody again, she, her pronouns. Today I have a blue and purple kind of plaid shirt, and I have dark curly hair. In Unitarian Universalist worship, readings are one of the ways that we anchor ourselves in shared wisdom. We come from many backgrounds, religious, secular, philosophical, and no single scripture speaks for all of us. So instead, we draw from many sources, and we use readings to bring other voices into the room. Voices of poets, prophets, storytellers, and seekers whose wisdom helps us see our own lives more clearly. A reading slows us down, creates a pause, invites reflection. It reminds us that no single person or single theology holds all the truth. Instead, we are shaped by a wide, rich chorus of human insight. But words don't only come to us from a page. Sometimes the most powerful readings are the ones that we sing. A hymn is a reading set to music, wisdom carried on melody. When we focus on the lyrics, when we pay attention to what the words are asking of us, a hymn becomes its own kind of sacred text. It becomes a reading our whole body participates in. Breath, voice, heartbeat, vibration. And lifting up a hymn as a reading is also a way of lifting up our music ministry. Music reaches places that spoken words sometimes cannot. It gathers us, centers us, stirs us, reminds us that we belong to one another. By listening to the words of a hymn, spoken or sung, we honor the musicians, the composers, the singers who help shape our worship every week. So this morning, instead of turning to a printed reading, we turn to the reading embedded in our next hymn, a hymn by Methodist composer Jane Marshall, intended to be a hymn of pure gratitude. As we sing, may the music carry its meaning deeper than speech alone can do. So please rise in body or spirit and join us in our next hymn, number 404, What Gift Can We Bring?, found in the gray hymnal.
So there's a thing coming up. We're about to enter the week of Thanksgiving, a holiday that can be equal parts gratitude, chaos, nostalgia, grief, joy, and on occasion, burnt stuffing. A holiday that for many marks the beginning of the winter holiday season. A holiday that for many can be complicated and tricky. A holiday that for many can start the season of preparation. But with that in mind, today I want to invite us into a different kind of preparation. Not the preparation of chopping and cleaning and finding the right tablecloth, but a preparation of the heart. Today I want to invite us to explore and talk about grace. A word that shows up a lot this time of year around many tables. In truth, it's a word that shows up in religions all over the world. A word that many of us grew up hearing in one form or another. And if we're being honest, it's a word that some of us may have complicated feelings about. But it's also a word that in Unitarian Universalism, we can interpret for ourselves. Some people, when they hear the word grace, they hear a supernatural reward, a divine stamp of approval, if you will, given only to the deserving. But that's not how most UUs or most folks that attend a UU church use that word. And honestly, it's not how most religions and spiritual traditions use it either. So what is it then, this word, grace? My understanding of the theology of grace is that it is not something we earn. It's not something we get by behaving well or believing in the right doctrine or checking the correct box on some cosmic form. No. Grace is that thing, that special moment that interrupts the myth of mediocrity. It's what reminds us that the best things in life, love, forgiveness, kindness, connection, can't be tallied up like points on a scoreboard. So if it's not points on a scoreboard, and if it's not a divine stamp of approval, what is it? How do we know if we've seen it, if we've received it, if we've even given it? What is this thing called grace? I think it's a lot of things. I think if you've ever had someone shown up at your door with soup or a smile or a kind word or a hug, you have known grace. If you've ever made a mistake and then been welcomed back in warmth and forgiven that mistake, you've received grace. If you've ever been surprised, truly surprised by beauty or compassion, by an unexpected path opening to you when you thought all the doors, windows, escape hatches were shut, then you've felt grace. Grace is the unearned good in our lives. As I just mentioned, we are entering into the holiday season, and as we do, many of us will start being aware and attentive and naming the things that we're grateful for. This kind of deep gratitude, this humility, really, that comes from knowing the things we're grateful for is so important. But I think grace is when we notice the things we don't cause, the things we didn't earn. We don't earn a sunrise or a beautiful sunset. We don't earn the breath that keeps us alive through the night. We don't earn the teacher who believed in us long before we believed in ourselves. We don't earn the way a stranger holds the door open for us when we're having a terrible day, but they don't know it. We don't earn the way a friend forgives us when we are short-tempered. The way a partner or a family member keeps loving us, even in our maybe not so lovable moments, because we all have those. These unearned moments, these are moments of grace. And these moments remind us that grace is a fluid thing that moves through our lives. And I think it tends to move through our lives and find us when we are at our worst. What I mean by that is grace is easy to see when life is going well. But it's most powerful when life is not. Again, I invite you to think of a moment when you messed up, when you were harsh or careless or thoughtless, when fear made you smaller than you wanted to be. We've all had those moments. I had that moment getting into the car with my children this morning, trying to get their shoes on and out the door. I bribed them with Dunkin' Donuts. But I was a little harsher than I probably wanted to be. And yet they got in the car. They gave me grace. At some point, someone, a person, a community, didn't turn away from us. That is grace finding us. Grace finds us and says, take a breath, you can begin again. Grace finds us and says, you are more than your worst moment, so much more. Every single one of us will fail at something at some point. Because we're human. We're flawed. We're unfinished. We're all still becoming. We're all still growing up. Grace is that gentle reminder that we don't have to earn our place in the circle of the human family. We belong simply because we belong. In Unitarian Universalism, we lift up grace as a human experience, something deeply spiritual, but not always limited to the language of God or the supernatural. So now if we know where to find it, now that we know what it is, the next question is, how do we find it? Where does it come from? Sometimes it comes from nature, sometimes it comes from within, and as I have mentioned numerous times today, sometimes it comes from the people who choose to show up for one another. But wherever it comes from, it arrives as a gift. But there's a twist. There always is. Grace is not something we wait for. Grace is something we participate in. For we are the hands and the voices and the hearts through which grace enters the world. If you've ever shown kindness when someone didn't deserve it, if you've ever forgiven someone, if you've ever been patient with a child, again, the getting in the car, if a child has ever been patient with you, if you've ever just held on as a teenager stumbled through adulthood, toward adulthood, if someone held on while you were a teenager stumbling towards adulthood, if you are an adult who still feels like a teenager inside, and you have been there through it, you have been an agent of grace. This is the grace that we give. So my question for you is, how do we live this grace in the week ahead? Some of us will be gathering with family. Some of us will be gathering friends. Some of us will be gathering with community members. And some of us may not be gathering with those we wish we were. Maybe we'll be cooking meals. Maybe we'll be dodging conflict or navigating grief for those who are no longer at the table. Or maybe we will be dealing with our own grief for not being at the table we wish we were at. How do we practice grace when the mashed potatoes are lumpy, or when a political comment lands the wrong way, or when the kids melt down at exactly the moment you hope they don't? I offer this. Try to give people more mercy than you think they need. For everyone is battling something you know nothing about. Remember that grace says, "Let me meet you with softness." Take time to name the gifts that arrive without your doing. The unearned special moments, a moment of beauty, a memory that resurfaces, a kindness someone extended years ago that you're just now realizing. And let grace flow both ways. Sometimes it is on you to be the giver of grace, and sometimes it is for you to be the receiver. Both roles require humility. And when you offer grace, know you are practicing generosity. And when you receive grace, know you are practicing gratitude. For when you do both, you are truly practicing what it means to be human. For ultimately, grace draws us into belonging. When we experience grace, something in us quiets. When we give grace, something in us stirs. Grace invites us to try and stop defending our worth, to stop trying to prove ourselves, and to begin to belong, and slowly to trust that we are held by something larger. Community, love, life, God, the universe. You pick whatever name makes sense for you. This is what it is to be human, and this is what it is to know grace. I invite you now to rise in body or spirit and join us in our closing hymn, 10:10, We Give Thanks. No, not 10:10, We Give Thanks. We just did that. 68. Come ye thankful people. Thank you, Emma. Into the season of gathering and remembering, of joy and stress, of good food and what we hoped might turn out to be good food, of complicated families, of friends, of communities. May you move gently. May you notice the gifts you did not earn. May you accept the kindness you did not expect. May you forgive yourself in the ways you fall short. May you be generous with one another, not because you owe it, not because you owe it, but because grace multiplies when it is given. And may we remember that no matter who we are or where we come from, no matter our imperfections, no matter our failures or our triumphs, we are held in a vast, interdependent web of care. For we are receivers and givers of grace, and that is something to be profoundly thankful for. Please join us in coffee hour in Whitcomb Hall to break bread, to be together as a community after our postlude. Thank you for being here today. Blessed be.